Hey guys, good morning. Today we are going to create our first application, Helloworld application using Cocos2d and EziSocial plugin. So this application is all about how to integrate the EziSocial plugin into with the Cocos2d application on your iOS platform. Let's try out. The first thing we need to do is we need to go to developers.ezsocial website, and it will automatically if you have already signed up, then you will automatically move to the dashboard page. Here we can add game from the dashboard, so let's try it. Okay, let me go from the another way. We will go to my games and then we'll go to create new game. So we'll add our game name. Let's name it Cocos2d Hello World demo. Let's create it. App saved successfully. Okay, we can add Facebook ID, we can add Google Plus ID, but we are not going to use it right now. We will use it later on. So this is our bundle ID that we have already with us. Let's add the bundle ID. Let's go back to my games. Let's click on Hello World demo. So this is our actually game statistics page. We can see that everything is right now 0 because none of the player has connected to our application. But as soon as the player is connected to our application, we are going to see the stats over here. So we have 0 player today. We have statistics about the retentions and the stickiness. Then we have how many Facebook players are there, Twitter player, Google Plus players, and the people who have not signed up with any social network. This is going to be the maps of our users. So platform, social, shares, retention, all stats are going to come over here. Don't worry about it. We are going to see it shortly. So let's go and let's copy the game key. The next thing is that we need to download the social plugin code. If you have not downloaded it already, let's download it now. It will take few seconds to download the code. So meanwhile, let's create the application. Open Xcode and select Cocos2d. Add the product name. You can name it anything. Let me say Hello World demo. So make sure the bundle ID should match. So the first one are your actually company identifier. We say easybyte.cocos2d, and okay. So let me create a new folder where we want to save the project. Let's say demo tests. Let's create it. It's created now. Let's try to compile it. Let's check the code. It's also EziSocial code is also downloaded now. So one thing we need to make sure that the bundle identifier that is displayed over here should be same as that we are going to use in Facebook ID, Google Plus ID, and EziSocial application. So all 4 should be same. If they are not, then make sure that you are going to make it same. So let's run it, and it's running fine, as we can see that. Let's go to start, and we can move the object here and there as given in the Cocos2d demo. All right, let's add the framework. So it's and actually over here. So we have folder structure. Let's go to copy. Actually, you can drag and drop to the frameworks. You can either copy it or you can create a reference. I'm using it as a reference. We need to add the supporting libraries. There are 2 Google Plus libraries at this time we are using now. Using it as a reference again. And the last thing that we need to do is we need to copy the EziSocial bundle resources. So we'll copy it to the resources. Not copy, basically referencing it. Let's compile. So it's going to throw some 20 errors or something like that. So because there are some supporting frameworks are required, which we have not added at this moment. Oh, there are 21 issues. Okay, so 19 are the issues basically. 2 are just warnings. So let's add a framework. So EziSocial required 4 framework. Basically, the first one is security, then accounts, third is Twitter for Twitter integration, and the fourth one is social. Let's check what are other frameworks required for Google Plus. We have already listed in our wiki, so we'll add one by one all of the frameworks. Asset library, foundation is already present, so let's copy core location. Okay, core motion, core graphics, core text, media player, security we have already added, system configuration, okay, UI kit is already added. So let's try to compile it. Build succeeded. Okay, let's run it. So everything same as before. So we have to add now, enable the EziSocial plugin. Let's go to app-delegate.m, and there we need to import first the header file, that is EziSocial SDK / EziSocial.h. Then go to this method, the first method, and let's EziSocial init with product key, and whatever the product key you have already saved over there, you can copy that product key and save it. Let's enable logs and alert also, so that we can see the logs and logs as alert also. This is just for quick testing. Let's run it. Okay, player registration successful. That means your player is registered with EziSocial plugin now. You can see the stats. Go back to EziSocial developer website and go to open your app, and you can see now that in others we have 1 player, because this player is not registered with any social network. So right now it's coming into the other section. So right now stickiness is 100, and we can see that new player today is 1. So we can see that from India, that means me coming from here. So we have 1 player from India. On iOS platform we have 1 player. On social, in other section, we have 1 player. Shares right now 0, retention is 0. Retention will come once this same player is going to log in back again. So for the moment, because alerts are going to be a little painful, we just off it. For errors, alert will come automatically. So you can see that player has login back. So in the console you are going to see the message. Okay, let's add Facebook, or basically enable the Facebook in our application. So we have already created the Facebook ID. Let's just copy it. Okay, now second thing is that we will add Google Plus over here. So just by calling EziSocial.set Google Plus client, it will automatically add a Google Plus client to your application. So that is very simple. It's going to be now for all of you. Okay, we need to add one more method. This is called application open URL source application annotation. So we need to call here EziSocial and the same method again. Just pass on the parameters that is incoming and add a return statement. You need to actually supply it for Google Plus, otherwise Google Plus is not going to work on for your application. Okay, the next thing I think we need to do is we need to add URL types. So let's, whatever the bundle identifier is there, just copy the same to the identifier and then the URL schemes. That's it. Google Plus is also integrated now. Let's go to intro scene and let's import again the EziSocial.h file. So what we are going to do is that we are going to add a button on the main screen, and we are going to this button is actually nothing but it's going to open the dashboard that is coming up from the bundle, EziSocial bundle. So the code for it, no, not this one. We've already done this step. So here is the code. Let's copy the code. It's nothing but just creating a button. Okay, then it's calling a method launch dashboard. So it can be named anything. So but in that method you need to actually call the method show dashboard, and you can always add a block method. So in block method you are actually dismissing the dashboard and whatever the method you want to call in, so you can call that method. So we are actually calling the same method that will load the Helloworld scene. Let's try it. Launch dashboard. Okay, with start it's working fine. Let's try with launch dashboard. So you can see that we have the dashboard. We will do the connection doctor. So connection doctor is actually checking that in how many seconds we are actually connecting with our EziSocial service. So we'll try with Facebook now. So let's grant the permission, and login is successful. Wow, that's just a simple that how you connect your Facebook now. So here we can see that player account details merged successfully. So it means that the person who was seeing in the others now has jumped back to the Facebook. So it's actually having a unique users over here, no duplication of users at all. So as we have logged in back, so that's why retention is 100%, because one person and he is logged in back on the same day, so daily retention is 100% right now. We can see that social sharing is now 1 for Facebook and others are 0 still now. So shares we have not done it, we will do it in next tutorial. Retention again in 24 hours is 100%. 1% logged in back. Okay, we can see that because we have not done the logout, so the player is already signed in. Let's log out and let's try with Google Plus. So this is the consent screen that we were talking about in Google Plus tutorial. Just accept. It will take few seconds because little bit slow with Google Plus. So login successful. So we have captured all details that we are going to give it to you. What is the email ID? Let's try with now Twitter. Log out Twitter. It will ask the permission first time. Thank you guys for listening me so patiently.